Hi, my name is B. Hawthorne. I'm a writer and also a spreadsheet stan. Today I love spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets a lot, actually, every day. And so I wanted to show you guys the sort of like word count tracker I've been using for like a few months this year. And I thought it'd be fun if we did like a little like tour of my word count tracker and then talked about sort of my current projects. So that's what we're gonna be doing. That's why you're in this weird little side angle view. So let's get into it and let's talk about my word count tracker, shall we? So this word count tracker is it's an amalgamation of a lot of different old word count trackers that I've been using. I sort of took elements of some of my favorites and smushed them all together, and I'm trying to get them to work the way I want them to. I might be changing a few things on here, but let's just hop into it and then we'll see. So this is my word count tracker. As you can see, I only started using this in like May of this year, and then I went back and I put in give or take 2 months of data just to like give myself a place to start. So we'll see if this stays like this, honestly. Not entirely sure that it will. So here we have just like some basic like how many days are in the year, what our actual like goal is, how many days are left in the year. Over here we have obviously it's broken down by month. I set a monthly goal just to like give myself something to work towards, and I might honestly, this leaves me, I can just like change this at any point in time, so it's really nice to be able to have that flexibility. As you can see, I didn't put a goal in for January or February. I just started putting it in for March, and again I sort of backdated that one. As you can see, my one sort of odd month out is going to be November, obviously, because I do National Novel Writing Month, I do NaNoWriMo, so that's the one where I know that I'm going to get 50,000 words in a month. It's just how much more than 50,000 words do I get. I usually set my goal for Nano pretty conservatively, because I help run a lot of NaNoWriMo events, and sometimes when you're running events, you don't get as much good writing done. So I don't want to set my goal too high and then be disappointed when I'm busy like running people events that I can't write as much. Because for me, NaNoWriMo is mostly about the people in it and like the community of writers around it. So I try not to set my goal too much crazy above 50,000. 55 seems like reasonable. I think last year I got like 52 or 53. So like just an extra 2,000 somewhere on the top. I'll be good to go. You see, my goal for this month is 10,000 words. If I don't have like a set thing that I'm writing, my goal is just going to be an even 10K. I feel like that's reasonable. I write a lot of different little short stories. I write fan fiction, stuff like that. So it's reasonable for me to like have 10K words in a month that are just like randomly spread out across different projects. Lets me pick away a little bit out of a lot of things at once. We'll go into July in a second here because July is kind of crazy because I wrote like a lot in July for no good reason, really. I just sort of really got into working on this project, so I did that. So that's sort of our main summary sheet. As you can see here, I just have like some of our like projected dailies, some of my average dailies, and then this is what I should be at any given day to make sure that I can reach the goal by the end of the month. For some of these that like I only have a goal of like 10,000 or 8,000 words, obviously it's not going to be like that much, and it's not going to be hard to like hit that goal. So like for example, I've written almost 3,000 words in August so far, and it's not even day 10 of August. Like I'll be fine to hit the 10K, obviously. This part of the sheet is something that I'm trying to fix and like I'm trying to rework. I'm trying to get it so I can assign words to a project and then just show my running total for how much I've written on said project. So that's what this goal of the moment thing is going to be once I figure out how to make this spreadsheet work like I want it to. I know there are some templates in like Notion and such that like do the same thing or do something similar. I just want to keep it all on Google Docs because I live off of Google Docs, so that's the main sort of like summary page. This is just a really basic, hey, what are you at? What should you be at? How many words a day do you need to write each day if you're writing every day this year to like make your goal? My goal every day is to write 200 words. So like my projected daily words are thrown way off by the fact that I have November in here, which is way more words than every other month. And that some of these months I am planning on writing nothing. Like December, I'm not putting a word count goal in because I'm always tired after NaNoWriMo. So things like that tend to like shift this like word count. I only want to get 200 words a day. If I consider I got 200 words a day, that's a win. I consider that an absolute win. So there's that. I also have my sort of like yearly progress chart just because I love a little chart. You can see what my goal for each month was, and then you can see like where I actually ended up hitting. Each month has its own separate little sheet, separate little tab that I can put in how many words I wrote per day. I can also tell a project name, and then it also gives me sort of my running total of words. So we're just gonna look at July because that's the month that most recently concluded, and that I wrote like a lot during for some reason. But as you can see, I didn't have that many days where I went over 1,000 words. I can always tell what days are like Sundays and what days are Wednesdays because those are the days that I work with my writing group and I have write-ins those days. So those are always the days that I get the most done. So like 7, 14, 21, and 28, all of these are like, obviously like these are all Sundays where I go to a library and I write with all my friends. So obviously I wrote a shit ton during those days. That really just helps like pump up these numbers. You can tell that like in between that though, like I'll get like 400 words a day and I'll call it good. The fact that I wrote so much in July isn't some like I had a lot of inspiration going, although I did and I do. But like the fact that I wrote a lot in July is mostly for the fact that I wrote almost every day in July. That's like a lot. That's a lot of writing, and even if I did just write 100, 200 words a day, that still like evens out to a lot. I think a lot of my success in July is just because I wrote a shit ton on my novel, The Rope Salesman. I thought it'd also be fun if we sort of like took a moment to talk about my current project and why it's kind of crazy that I wrote that much on it in 1 month. My novel, The Rope Salesman, is a supernatural detective noir novel about a detective who is in some symbiosis with a creature that eats magic. He is in a supernatural world, and he's in symbiosis with something that fucking hates magic and supernatural things. And I think it's a fun little dichotomy to play with. I thought it'd be fun if at some point I talked about like what my current project is. My current project is a novel called The Rope Salesman. It is a detective noir novel. It is a supernatural detective noir novel that effectively like our lead detective enters symbiosis with a creature that eats magic. And they are an unlikely duo that solves magic crimes. It's sort of like Dresden Files meets like The Tainted Cup. Very 1940s noir style Humphrey Bogart movie like S. So if we go into August, you'll see that I also did miss a few days in here because I was at a music festival, so I was very sleepy tired at night and I did not do my daily writing. I usually try and write. I'll get up and write in the morning with Alyssa in the books if she's running a live stream, or I'll just get up and write by myself, just so I have like my word count out of the way for the day. And then if I do get to go back and write more later, then like that's just a bonus. But yeah, if we go over to the monthly graphs tab here, you can sort of see my monthly writing thread in graph form if you're like a graph person. I'm not really a graph person. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to like display this. Graph form. If you're a visual learner, that's good. Again, you can very much see the Sundays and Wednesdays of it all. Like Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. I love that you can see it. I think it's very fun. Anyway, I just wanted to do like a quick little tour of that sheet. I don't know if that's like, if you guys are as big of like spreadsheet fanboys as I am. I love a good spreadsheet. So yeah, that's a little quick tour through my word count spreadsheet. I like having a set word count, like a set place to house my word count. I personally really like data and spreadsheets, so obviously I'm gonna keep track of my data and spreadsheets. Like, I love that shit. I will eventually be dropping the template for this down in the description box below if you want to go in and make your own copy of it. I highly recommend keeping track of your words, if only so that then you can feel accomplished by the end of the month with like, wow, that was a big number of words that I wrote. Even if it was on a bunch of different projects or on a bunch of different days or like really spread out. I think it's very fun to track your words, and I think it really does help get you a sense of accomplishment if you don't have that like innate sense of accomplishment like I do. Like when I wrote 20,000 words in July, my initial thought wasn't like, wow, that's fucking crazy that I wrote like 20,000 words in July. Like I didn't get that sense of accomplishment until I noticed that I wrote 20,000 words in July. Does that make sense? I think it certainly helps to, if you don't have a sense of innate accomplishment like me, and if your brain is built different, built bad, it's very helpful to have something that tells you like, hey, you have made tangible progress, even if, you know, you can't see it. So that's why things like me writing 20,000 words in July, for some reason, like really surprised me and came out of nowhere, because I didn't feel that like tangible sense of accomplishment until I saw the word count, and then I was like, hey, actually that's kind of fucking crazy. So that's it, just like a chill, kind of calm tutorial video this week. We're gonna be doing a vlog next video, I think we'll do a vlog next video. And then we'll talk about like running writing groups and stuff. I think that'll be a very fun one to do. Alright, that's it. Have you written today? You should probably do that. I hate to be the one to tell you that you should go write today, but you should go write today, by the way. If you haven't already, you should probably go do that.